I'm Drury. I'm the head of Frontend Technology from Virgin Media O2. So it's important to understand the story. For me, it's really important as well that when we have our tools, they work for our staff, our content creators, our marketeers, right? And this is what we love about Storyblok. It's the visual editor, the live preview. And that works amazingly well for web. But when we were building our native apps, our React Native apps, we still suffered from one of the challenges that you find with headless CMS sometimes, which is you can't see what you're editing in the app in real time. It just doesn't work usually. So we found that was a bit of a challenge. I really want my content creators to be able to see what they're doing. You know what? It's silly. You give people the ability to see what they're doing, you're going to get a higher quality work output. They're going to enjoy the job more. It reduces that feedback loop. So we're like, how can we bring this to React Native? How can we give that level of connectivity? We didn't want it to be a big, overly complex solution either. We didn't want to have to proxy through web services. So we came up with this idea of, what if we could get Storyblok to speak with our native apps, but using peer-to-peer communication technology? So effectively, the same technology type that powers a Slack video call or a Teams call or a Google Meet, we're using a different part of that technology to enable our React Native apps to speak to Storyblok. Our editors just go into the UI, they start editing some content, and it's magically just syncing over the air directly to their phone. I love that question. So at Virgin Media O2, we do some amazingly innovative work. We push boundaries every single day. But unfortunately, a lot of that intellectual property has to be kept secret, has to be kept in-house. We can't share it. It's core to our business. However, Storyblok isn't our business. This is an innovation within the product that, if we open source, it has absolutely no impact to us. It gave us that ability to share with the world this innovation, to say, hey, we're Virgin Media O2. We are a telco, but we're also a technology company, and this is just one of the amazing things that we're doing, and we want to share that with the world. That's a huge part of it. So with other CMS, other vendors we've had, it's been very much that sort of vendor-client relationship. It's true, that's got to be there, right? But it was very formal, it wasn't very about mutual success. The way that we operate as businesses, we don't have vendors, we have partners. We contribute to Storyblok's success, they contribute back to our success. It really is a two-way partnership. So I've got this amazing customer success manager, Fran, you met her earlier. She's honestly an absolute marvel, and she really has been a huge voice of what we're doing internally in Storyblok. A huge voice singing the successes that we've done. And that also allows us to sing successes of Storyblok internally. The more Storyblok and I collaborate, and my teams collaborate, the more we talk about it internally, the more other teams want to then get on board. So, for example, one of our first projects was a knowledge-based transform, moving from a specific knowledge domain system into Storyblok. And this was really cool, right? Because a lot of knowledge bases actually are served very well by content management systems. And it was really nice to in-house it. Now we've got the data in a system that we can use. We've now got other teams that are now training AIs on our processes, pulling that data out of Storyblok to help us create the next generation of tools for our colleagues. When our agents on the phone to some of our customers, they get real-time notifications saying, hey, this customer needs some extra help here, they've identified they've got a vulnerability. So the tools automatically know all of our processes and are able to then recommend, hey, we've got this vulnerability alert marker, let's give the right information. Let's pull that from Storyblok and say, hey, when we've got this scenario, this is how we accommodate that customer. And it's incredible. Some of the things we've done with Storyblok, I think we're about a year and a half into our journey with Storyblok, and I feel like we're still at the very start. We've built over 40 applications in the past 18 months on the platform. And it's so easy as well. VirginMediaO2.co.uk, the home of our joint venture, took 24 hours to build. From business ask to in production to landed with content. And that's the power of Storyblok.